fuck is going on?
I have no idea.
What's going on, New York Yankee fans? Welcome back to another video. If you guys haven't already, like, comment, subscribe, turn on post notifications so you know when a live stream pops video drops. Appreciate you all coming back. Giants video earlier, so please check that out. Check out the Knicks net stream. A lot of funny moments, a lot of cool moments, and appreciate you guys for coming out to that stream and just tuning into the channel. A lot of new faces I saw in that stream, so once again, like, comment, subscribe, help out the channel. I can't talk today. And the algorithm. I'm going to talk about a couple of things in this video related to the Yankees, and I've been pretty silent other than the Boys in the Big Apple podcast. I really haven't put out too many videos because, well, the Giants won on Sunday, and then Daniel Jones gets hurt. And we're in purgatory again, it seems like, with the running game. But that's another video. I already did a video on the running game and Daniel Jones and all that other bullshit. But please check that out. So I want to talk about a couple of things regarding the Yankees. And I'm not happy with the state of the Yankees, as many Yankee fans aren't. We'll talk about a couple of things. I want to talk about them tendering contracts to Gary, to Andujar, to Voit, bringing back Urshela. Lidge, you know, it's a minor thing. Tendering contracts to Joey Gallo and Aaron Judge. So let me say this. And I understand I might not be bringing a lot of stats to the table, right? I'll probably sound like one of those media bots, the metas, the betas, and the talking heads of sports radio. I understand that. But there's a lot of points to be made, and I tell the truth on here. I don't know if you guys know that, new viewers, old viewers, but I don't sit here and try to make hype videos and try to justify someone's bad play because this stat, and this stat. It's just not going to happen. So I want to talk about the Yankees' inactivity in free agency. By the time this is released tomorrow, we will know likely or likely not if there's going to be a work stoppage or not, because the MLB and the MLBPA are very far in terms of negotiating a new CBA. We'll see what happens with that. I'll probably be in chat for the premiere of this, so you'll get some updates, or you'll find out later in the day, or whatever the case may be. I don't understand why the Yankees aren't at least being aggressive. You can say there's a lot of overpays. I feel that Max Scherzer was an overpay. I feel that Corey Seager was an overpay. But come the fuck on already. Brian Cashman is still sleeping in his sleeping bag wherever the hell he is. He said that they were going to make upgrades at positions, and it really has not shown. And it seems like we're going to run it back with this team, which is fun. It's not fun. That was sarcasm if you couldn't detect that. But being aggressive in free agency with the amount of money you have is a big upside. But the Yankees aren't doing that, because Hal Steinbrenner is a cheap bastard who voted for a lower luxury tax. But Brian Cashman is not out of this. He's not out of the blame game. Let's not act like, you know, Hal's not making him spend any money at all, because he's the one who holds on to prospects for 13 years, and then when they become old and when they become useless, he finally lets them go, just like Clint Frazier. Just like Clint Frazier. And then Florio will probably become one of those. Clark Schmidt will become one of those. Davy Garcia will become one of those. I want to be wrong. But that's the path that Brian Cashman has chosen. And the worst part is that there's a lot of trades out there that the Yankees can make. And the fact that they didn't trade for Jacob Stallings. Now, you could say, well, his offensive production's not great. If your other positions produce offensively, you don't need to worry about catcher. You need to worry about catcher when your catcher sucks, like Gary Sanchez does. And don't tell me he's working hard. Yeah, a lot of people work hard. The results aren't there for a lot of people as well. When pitchers don't want to throw to your catcher, that's a fucking problem. And I'm sick and tired of these people coming out here. Well, there was no options. Shut up. If they're a good defensive catcher, that's what you need. A stopgap will do it. Because guess what? In today's day and age of baseball, especially the last year, it's going to be 2 years going on that. A lot of these AA guys may be going up to the major leagues without even going into AAA because a lot of the journeyman minor league signings are in AAA. The next step from AAA, well, really AA now, is likely the major leagues for a lot of guys. And I'm not saying that a lot of these guys are righty or whatever, but my point is you could at least had a stopgap. A stopgap. That's better than Gary Sanchez in some aspects. And the next year or the year after, Antonio Gomez or Austin Wells. So, I don't get it. I don't get it. He was talking about, meaning Brian Cashman, Gary Sanchez, working hard, but also we have to evaluate the catcher position. Nothing's going to change. Nothing's going to change. And I understand. Once I said it in the video earlier, I can't talk today again. I said it earlier in this video. I'll say it again. I'm not coming to the table with a lot of statistics because these are talking points over and over again that a lot of Yankee fans seem to agree with me on. And if you don't agree with me on Gary Sanchez, if you don't agree with me on a lot of these things, please feel free to comment, bring your points to the table. I will be happy to debate you. If you get personal, that's your own issue. But if the Marlins beat you out on a trade for Jacob Stallings, that's sad. Now, it was 2, I think, top 20 prospects that they traded. Or it was top 10. But let me ask a question, Yankee fans. I'm one of the advocates for the Yankees to trade for Matt Olson. I'm one of the advocates. But what makes you think that the Yankees are going to trade for Olson if the Athletics are rebuilding and they're asking for prospects? I find it ridiculous that a lot of people are coming out here saying, well, they're just waiting for the trade route. Bullshit. Actually, may not be bullshit because they don't want to spend in free agency and they want to trade for somebody. You may not like Carlos Correa. You may not like Robbie Ray. But the Giants, the Yankees were not even in the hunt for Robbie Ray. That shows you one thing. They are not looking at starting pitching at all. And for you to tell me that Nestor Cortez is a long-term answer on this team, I shrug my shoulders at that. I shake my head at that because, listen, Nestor's a good pitcher. Obviously, all the mustache stuff and the memes and all that shit. But he's not a long-term starter. He's a bullpen guy. He will give you length in the bullpen. But he's not a long-term starter. We can't have these platoon players and these one-year wonders suddenly become the future of this team. That's what happened in 2019 to 2020. We thought Mike Tauchman was the future, and look what happened. He fell off. Mike Ford, we thought he was the future. He got traded in 2021. So that's what I'm pissed about. Corey Seager, Marcus Semien, those guys both went to Texas. The Texas Rangers, who are outspending like they have all the money in the world right now. Argue, overpay, this, that, and the other thing. And we got Michael Kay. Apparently, now, if I'm wrong, feel free to correct me, guys. We got Michael Kay out here talking about the Atlanta Braves or talking about the Texas Rangers and the New York Mets. Why should they be spending all this money? That's not should not be allowed. Hello? The Yankees have been doing that for decades. Before Howe came in, what happened in 2009? Mark Teixeira, CC Sabathia, AJ Burnett. Hello? I mean, seriously. If that's what he said, how clueless can you be? Once again, you may not like Correa or Story or some of the other shortstops that were on the market. But right now, it looks like we're heading to get Andrelton Simmons. And guess what? I bet you $200,000 that if Andrelton Simmons signs as a Yankee and Oswald Peraza, outplays him in spring training as the shortstop, Andrelton Simmons will still be the option, and then they'll send Peraza packing to AAA. I just feel like that's something the Yankees would do. Because some of these decisions that they make, they're so late on, and they never pull the trigger. And then when they do pull the trigger, it's too late. It doesn't make any sense. And I don't know if I touched on Gary a lot. I probably didn't, because I was just discussing within these last couple minutes about the trade routes and the free agent routes. But once again, just to kind of finish it off, don't sit here and tell me the Yankees didn't have options. Gary is on the field one of the worst defensive catchers. He's also one of the worst in terms of effort. And it's one thing if you don't play good on the field, at least try. Gary Sanchez don't run out of ball. Does Gary Sanchez get injured a lot? Of course not, because he's on one knee. A very lazy strategy for catchers these days. Once again, don't tell me no options, because you're sitting there protecting Brian Cashman because he wants to hold on to prospects, which he's never going to call up. He's never going to use any of those prospects. Could have given up for Jacob Stallings. Let me pull up another situation. I said this on Boys in the Big Apple on Monday. The Mariners, they just traded for Adam Frazier before getting Robbie Ray for B-level prospects, 18th ranked and I believe 30th ranked. Those type of prospects. You're telling me that the Yankees couldn't give up any of those level prospects in their system for Frazier? I compared it to this. Girlfriend breaks up with you, but she gives you a second chance later on. That was the Yankees at the trade deadline, and then when Frazier, for some reason, became available from the Padres. Traded to the Mariners for B-level prospects. Frazier's incredibly versatile, plays the outfield and second base. And you're telling me that you could not pull off a trade for Adam Frazier? You weren't even interested? You didn't even know that he was on the table? I mean, seriously. You cannot convince me that things will change if this is the route the Yankees are going to go. And I know, I'm ranting. I want to cover a couple other things as well. That we're holding on to these prospects. They're going to become garbage in a couple of years because the development system isn't too great at times. I don't know. Prospect hugging is probably one of the worst things you can do if you're the Yankees and you have money, but you're not willing to spend it because your owner is a cheap ass. So the Yankees also tendered contracts to Joey Gallo and Aaron Judge. They also avoided arbitration with Gio Urshela, who for some reason is actually getting paid less than Gary Sanchez, making $6 million. Lucas Lidge is back. He's making $900K. Wilson Contreras is also available for trade. So with that Sanchez thing, they also are bringing back Luke Voit and Andujar. Unless they're trade pieces, there is no reason to keep any of them. Now, you can still trade for Olsen if you have Luke Voit, whether it's trading Luke Voit or it's keeping Luke Voit, because you can put Voit at DH maybe, and then you have Olsen at first, and then Stan plays the outfield, even though the Yankees already are trusting Joey Gallo and Aaron Hicks for some reason, but that's them. Bringing Andujar back really seems stupid because he's been injured a lot, he's been unproductive, a product of keeping prospects too long. And what can we use him for? Tyler Wade's gone now. They're probably interested in Ian Happ or some of these other depth, versatile infielders. I know they're interested in trading for Isaiah Kiner-Falefa from the Rangers, which honestly wouldn't be a bad addition. But I don't know. This may be empty noise to a lot of you Yankee fans. But I'm going to say this. Don't be surprised if the same team runs it back next year and we're fourth place in the division. I hate to be a Debbie Downer. I want to be as positive as possible. If I wanted to be negative, I wouldn't even put the Yankees content on my channel. But I'm making a point on here that a lot of Yankee fans really should recognize. And they should recognize that the Yankees aren't making moves. And to tell me that they're going to make moves during a work stoppage is incredibly crazy. If they do it, I'm wrong. But it just seems like nothing's going to change. I ranted on the Nets live stream when a lot of people were defending the Gary Sanchez tender. Oh, there are no options. Bullshit. Same people that are going to give hundreds of dollars for chicken buckets and all this other crap to Hal Steinbrenner. If the product is not there, I'm not going to any of the games. I'm not going to rip people for not going to the games. If you want to go to the games, but also if you want to go to the games and be a blind bat, that's your priority. That's your thing. I'm not going to judge anybody, but I will judge people if they intend to go after me. Anyway, with that being said, guys, like, comment, subscribe, turn on post notifications so you know when a live stream pops or drops. Appreciate y'all coming back. Please comment. I want to hear some of your thoughts on the Yankees' ineptitude. Appreciate y'all. Peace out. See you later. Stay cool.